I wasn't supposed to matter. I was a junior human envoy, sent more as a formality than a voice. The Galactic Council chamber was vast and intimidating, rows of seats carved for beings taller, older, and far more powerful than me. Every place was filled. I stood near the wall, pretending not to notice the glances that said, "Why is a human even here?" That's when a hand touched mine. Warm. Steady. Real. "You," a clear voice said, not loud, but impossible to ignore. "Sit with me." I looked up and forgot how to breathe. Princess Seralith, future ruler of the Orion Reach, was holding my hand as if it were the most natural thing in the universe. Conversations died instantly. Guards shifted. I tried to pull back. "Your Highness, I don't want to." She smiled, gentle but unyielding. "You won't stand alone." She led me to the empty seat beside her. I realized then it had always been empty. Not forgotten, reserved. My heart raced as I sat, surrounded by beings who had conquered stars. The council began discussing border conflicts, resource control, the usual games of power. When Earth was mentioned, the tone turned sharp. Too weak. Too young. Too insignificant. Princess Seralith rose. "Humans," she said, "are the only species here who reached the stars without ruling over another first. They survive not because they dominate, but because they endure." She gestured toward me. This human stood alone rather than demand a place. That is restraint. That is strength. Silence followed, then agreement. After the session, as the chamber emptied, I finally asked, "Why did you choose me?" She released my hand slowly. "Because humanity doesn't force its way into history," she said. "You wait, you learn, and when invited, you change everything." I walked out taller than I entered. Not because I was powerful, but because someone saw the power in being human. The moment I left the council chamber, I felt it, the shift. Eyes followed me now. Not curious. Not dismissive. Calculating. Where before I had been invisible, I was suddenly noticed. I returned to the human quarters expecting congratulations. Instead, my superiors stared at me like I'd just rewritten centuries of protocol. "Do you understand what you've done?" one of them whispered. I sat down, I said. My voice shook. "Because I was told to." That answer spread faster than any speech. By nightfall, requests arrived. Quiet invitations. Requests for human perspective. Species that once ignored Earth now wanted conversations, private ones. They asked about our wars, our failures, how we kept rebuilding after losing everything. I didn't exaggerate. I didn't pretend we were perfect. I told them the truth. That humans fall often. That we argue, break things, make terrible mistakes. But we keep going. We carry hope like a stubborn habit. Even when the universe gives us every reason not to. The next morning, I was summoned again, this time alone. Princess Seralith waited on a balcony overlooking the stars. No guards. No throne. Just her, and space. "You're uncomfortable with attention," she said without turning. "Yes," I admitted. She nodded. "Good. Those who crave it shouldn't lead." I finally understood. She hadn't chosen me because I was special. She chose me because I was ordinary. "Change is coming," she said softly. "And when it does, many will resist it. Humans will be blamed. You will be blamed." I swallowed. "Then why start this?" She turned, eyes steady. "Because the galaxy needs a reminder. Power isn't proven by who sits highest." She gestured toward the stars. "But by who is willing to stand alone, until someone offers them a seat." For the first time, I didn't feel small beneath the universe. I felt ready. The backlash came faster than I expected. 3 cycles after the council session, a formal challenge was issued, an old galactic custom. Any rising influence could be tested publicly. Not with weapons, but with judgment. I was summoned to stand before the assembly alone. No princess beside me this time. The chamber felt colder. Familiar faces avoided my eyes. A towering delegate from the Dravic Dominion spoke first. Humans inspire instability, he declared. They provoke change without the strength to control it. My mouth went dry. I wasn't a warrior. I wasn't a politician. I was just, human. Respond, the speaker commanded. I stepped forward, hands shaking, and stopped trying to sound important. You're right, I said. We don't control change very well. Murmurs spread. We caused disasters. We nearly destroyed our own world. More than once. I swallowed. But every time, we chose to fix what we broke, even when it hurt. Even when it was slow. Even when no one was watching. Silence. We don't arrive as conquerors, I continued. We arrive as learners. And when we fail, we stay to make it right. The Dravic delegate laughed. Weakness. Before I could answer, Princess Sarilith stood. Weakness, she said calmly, is refusing to change when proven wrong. Her gaze swept the hall. Humanity survived itself. That alone makes them dangerous, in the best possible way. The vote followed. Not unanimous. But enough. Earth was granted observer partner status, something no young species had ever received. Later, as I left the chamber, Sarilith walked beside me again. You did well, she said. I was terrified, I admitted. She inclined her head. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's standing anyway. I looked at the stars beyond the glass and realized something profound. Humanity didn't need to shout to be heard. We just needed to speak, when it mattered. And the galaxy was finally listening. With recognition came responsibility. Earth's new status meant joint missions, human representatives paired with older civilizations. I was assigned to a conflict mediation team on the border worlds, places where treaties existed only on paper and resentment lived in the air. The first planet we visited was scarred. Cities rebuilt over ruins, generations raised under half-kept promises. My alien counterpart spoke in formal tones, quoting laws and precedents. The locals didn't listen. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. I sat with them. No podium. No title. Just stories. I listened to farmers who'd lost land, traders crushed by tariffs, children who'd grown up thinking the galaxy didn't care if they vanished. When it was my turn, I didn't talk about power or policy. I talked about Earth. About oceans we poisoned and cleaned again. About wars we regretted before they ended. About how humans argue loudly, but still show up the next day to rebuild together. Something shifted. Compromises followed. Not perfect. Not clean. But real. On our return, Princess Sarilith invited me to walk with her through the starlit gardens of the capital. The air shimmered softly around us. You change things without commanding them, she said. I just listen, I replied. She stopped and looked at me carefully. That is rarer than authority. News spread quickly. Other species began requesting human mediators. Not because we were strongest, but because we understood loss. One night, I asked her the question I'd been avoiding. What happens when the galaxy expects more from us than we can give? She considered this. Then you will do what humans always do. And that is? She smiled, not like a princess, like a friend. You will try anyway. As I watched unfamiliar stars drift overhead, I realized something quietly incredible. Humanity hadn't been invited into the galaxy to follow its rules. We were invited to help it heal. The moment I understood it wasn't during a council vote or a diplomatic victory. It was during a crisis. A relay station near the frontier failed, power collapsing, life support flickering. Multiple species were trapped inside. Protocol demanded evacuation priority based on rank and influence. Arguments erupted instantly. Time was running out. I didn't wait for permission. I remembered Earth, fires, floods, earthquakes, moments when no one asked who deserved saving first. We just saved who we could. I spoke once. We evacuate the nearest sections first. No titles. No status. Whoever is closest goes now. Some protested. Then Princess Seralith activated her channel. The human speaks with my authority. Silence. Then motion. The evacuation worked. Not everyone agreed, but everyone survived. Afterward, as rescue ships drifted away from the burning station, Seralith stood beside me, watching the stars reflect off shattered metal. This, she said softly, is why the galaxy needed humans. I shook my head. We're still flawed. We still fail. Yes, she replied. And you don't pretend otherwise. She turned to face me. Other species chase perfection. Humans accept imperfection, and act anyway. Weeks later, a new charter was signed. A small line, easy to overlook. In matters of shared survival, human principles of equal life consideration shall apply. No statues were built. No songs written. But something fundamental had changed. As I prepared to return to Earth, Seralith took my hand once more, just as she had that first day. You won't always sit beside me, she said. I know. But humanity, she continued, will never stand alone again. When my ship lifted into the stars, I finally understood the truth behind it all. Humans weren't chosen because we were powerful. We were chosen because, when given a seat, we always make room for others.